Hello everybody and welcome to the After Hours Gaming League. I am your host Lawler, alongside me Nathanius. Nathan, kind of an exciting event that we get to put on for everybody today, and I know you have a lot of history and a lot of following for this organization. If you want to kind of tell everybody what we're doing today, what we're going to be watching, give us the gist.
Yeah. It's After Hours Gaming League is awesome. As you guys know, the people that were all at the beginning of all of this, day 9 and all that, we've been going back years and years, working together, and it's a really awesome organization raising money for charity, but also people working at big companies competing against each other in video games to raise money for charity. Couldn't be anything better. We're going through the PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds portion, and it's already kicking off. This is the grand finals. So we're going to just be looking to see which team can take home the first place. All these teams are playing for their own charities as well. So choosing where the prize pool is going to go per se. So it's a good competition, some friendly camaraderie, I would say.
It's
for a good cause.
Yeah, these guys usually don't get to compete on kind of this stage, and it's a very esportsy kind of vibe. So gets them a little bit to test their chops, and for a good cause. Obviously, everything going out for charity. First place is going to be taking $1,000, and it kind of works its way down there. We've got a lot of teams if we're taking a look at the standings coming into today, and the format about how they got here. So these guys have been competing actually for 3 months already. Over the course of 8 weeks in the regular season, they played one map a week. Teams gain points throughout the times. There's 25 teams, and they're sorted obviously now in order from 1st to 19th because they windowed their way down. They made it into the playoffs. Points from the regular season were reset, and only the top 19 made it through. Today, we're going to get to see the finals. It's going to be 2 of AHGL. Right now, we're going to see Miramar up first. But the big one to pay attention to, Google Free Chicken. There's a guy on that squad named Jay Free. He has been crushing kids. 23 kills alone over the course of their 8 games. So, kind of one to keep your eyes on, but you never know.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, it's anybody's match at the end of this day.
Oh yeah, there's already an early frag in the start of our first map, but it's just to go over the rules real quick. It's squads. We got teams of 4 competing, and we're starting this one off on Miramar. But I believe the loot tables are adjusted to be more towards the competitive side, so you're going to be seeing lots of assault rifles, a bit more meds, less of the not so good items. So the action should be a little bit more intense when the players end up running against each other. Of course, these guys still really want to win, so expect to see the slow play, people being a little bit methodical, because, even you're playing for charity, but you still want to win, Lawler.
Oh, of course, you want to win.
The bragging rights are very important. There are a couple of these teams pretty close to each other as well, as some shots are being exchanged up top towards the San Martin area, just a bit north of Hacienda.
We're going to jump into the action. I'll be on the calls alongside Nathanius all day for you guys today. So if you have any questions, concerns, ideas, do not be afraid to yell at us. Give us a shout out and we will do what we can.
Yeah.
But going straight on to team number 9, China Brock and the rest with team 12. Kurth coming out with damage early. Getting 2 kills for his squad. It looks like he ended up first to 1. He's going to spread right. On Kurt's perspective, he might be able to see the spices right in front of him. He does.
Yeah,
1 shot, 2 shot, 3. Can he get him? No, yes he can, but they go for the trade. Spices right.
He gets the down, but that's it. Unfortunately for them, teal team is going to get wiped. Nobody else on the map looks too close to each other. Maybe there's a potential future engagement over towards Impala, but Miramar is a huge map, right? It's kind of what we know it for. It's a bit of a trek to get around. You have a lot of hills to take into consideration, and some of those rotation times can take a long while to make happen.
Yeah, a lot of these teams, though, because it is more of a competitive play style, will spread out, and you can already see that. I mean, you're looking on the left side, Monte Nuevo, team 4 all alone, but that's pretty common. Other than a couple early engages, these guys have all really basically marked their territory. Looking at the circle itself, there's a couple teams that are pretty far out that are going to have to make a trek. You already see Steves in the very top left for team number 8. Going to have to kind of reconvene with this team and then work their way in, probably in from the northwest area of the map. But other than that, these guys are going to spend a lot of the time looting. But a shot's coming out from team number 10. Freebird finds Jinx. Can't land the shots as he goes to the other side of the Jeffley. It does have a K98 with 3x on it. Maybe he'll be able to do some damage with that later on.
Yeah, Jixie riding solo here as well. So you don't want to get pounced on by one of these teams early on. You're trying to play a little bit of a spoiler role. These guys have been playing, I think it's 10 points per kill, and then of course the higher you place, the more points that you get. But because it's the grand finals and some of these teams have a little ways to go to spice things up, it's double points for everything. So the comeback potential for any of these teams on the lower end is very real. We're looking at teams like Adobe that are sitting at the bottom, and they gotta finish very high in all games if they want to make it into that top 5. So there's a lot of pressure, but there's a lot of opportunity for these players as well.
Yeah, quite the uphill battle for Adobe, but not out yet. Obviously, Jinx was alone, but he took that vehicle. Looks like he's going for a crate drop. We're going to hop on over that.
Yeah, the first one's coming down. It's an M249 with level 3 ghillie suit. Get that tier 3 game going. It's a good time. No one's by it just yet from the looks of things, though.
Stuff can come in handy. Level 3 helmets, obviously, only available in care packages. Being able to deny and basically negate those big snipes. But a lot of players starting to go on top of it. Zero Shift running into team number 3 is in trouble. He's got his help undirected right next to him. Going in.
Undirected came in hot. That was a good pick, though. He has his teammates down there. Doesn't know where the rest of them are. Shingo up top of that hill. He's going to pick it up. The kills. Gets him. Caffeine coming in with the cleanup. They should be able to save Tropod, as Diginet, the nearest player from that team, is still pretty far away, and the rest of the team very far away.
Those are the shots. Should be able to get a new reposition on top of this as well. Here's to see on how he plays. Looks like he's going to wrap completely wide. Wants to avoid the fight. Knows that placement is also extremely important. He does have Thurman Merman, which is a fantastic name, I may add, all the way south of him. So it looks like he's going to reconvene and go back over to his teammate. Fortunately for them, though, they do lose one.
During that whole mess, Jixie was able to get over to the care package. So even though he's on his own, he's tier 3'd out of his mind. He's got the ghillie suit. He's rolling the M249, and good taking advantage of the opportunity there.
Now, I do like what he's doing as well, is rather than trying to get away right away, he's peeking out that window. He's keeping eyes on the target. He knows that is a good bait and could be able to pick up some free downs. Not the worst idea. Obviously, that M249 is going to make a lot of noise. Needs to be careful, though, if he has no backup. As Caffeine looks like he's going to start to go for it. I don't know if he's going to recognize it. As he decides he wants to get out of Dodge, he's just going to head north, possibly back to his team, but needs to be careful. He is surrounded. He does spot Caffeine. Let's see what he does with it. He goes prone. That bipod doesn't run the loads. Unfortunately, doesn't land a single shot. Caffeine, unfortunately for him, there's nothing in that crate to take.
That's an awkward situation to be in because he's running out. He doesn't know how many enemy players are nearby, right? When those shots start coming in, you're not 100% certain that the one guy shooting at you is on his own. So Caffeine is going to say, I'm getting out of here, going back towards the team. But you know, Tropod, not too far from Thurman Merman and Diginet right now. He might find himself getting pinched here.
Thurman taking shots from back, trying to get around again. Tropod does get the kill and the knock. Trying to see if he can find the last one. He knows there's still one available.
Yeah, Diginet is not far away, moving around inside this industrial complex. Tropod's just waiting. He knows Caffeine is coming back on the flank with Shingo. They're all going to be able to group up. He's not on his own too much. There is the high ground here as well that they can work with from this position. They can kind of look down, try to get eyes on Diginet. Of course, it's important to keep in mind we're still very much so in the safe zone, so these players aren't really under as much pressure as some of the other guys. We might see an engagement soon, actually, as Team 6 is going to be seeing some vehicles come down towards them from the northeast side of that circle.
They're taking shots at the vehicle, though, too. Right, does get past him. Just flying on by, trying to get into the zone. Should be able to do so.
Love seeing it. Drive straight through the team. Like, you know what, guys? Look, man, Team 6 is sitting here. We're just gonna cruise on through, Krupp Island, no, to make it out. And that's, you know, it's always such a dangerous position now because the other guys got to worry about going south down the road as these guys have kind of holed themselves up here if they want to try and control this road, prevent any other vehicles from getting through. This map, it's hard to go off road. If you can stick to the road, you always want to. But let's see if these guys take any shots out of the window. Looks like they're just going to loot up for now.
Gonna be hopping on with our #1 team, though. Google free. These guys have been dominating. Only one team comes close, and that's Cap. So for them, it's been relatively simple. Nothing too crazy for the early action. A little bit spread out, but shots again coming in from the northwest side in San Martin. Fortunately for Reliant Squid and his group, they're going to be running into yet another group. Team 16 here. Let's see if they take any shots. They do, but not able to land any, unfortunately for Canuck. Just can't seem to find that vehicle. As he drops out an M24, he's feeling hungry. And ends up getting a grenade thrown on top of him. I think that was his teammate.
Yeah, things are just getting crazy. We got other teams that are driving in from the northwest as well. Some other shots were coming out. And these players are finally starting to get pushed together just a little bit. There's still a lot of room to work with on this map. But we see those cars moving around. We see those shots coming out. That pink team 16 in the middle still trying to shoot long range towards the team 4 moving the way up the hill.
Those shots you're talking in roughly 300-400 meters. Not going to be an easy one to land, but
I got a lot of bullet drop with that SKS too.
I like the confidence as well from the north side. You're going to see Team 6 moving in right behind him, so possibly some action for Bathari and the rest. As Whipple Dipple hanging out the side of the window, seeing if he can land any shots. Not sure if they're going to pursue or not. Whipple using a crossbow. Not the best idea, but if it works, he's a genius.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you just get infinite style points if you get a crossbow kill at any point.
He's my hero of the match if he lands a crossbow kill. I don't care who wins, but if he gets one, I'm sold.
Yeah. All the shout outs, all the praise, all the glory. Plus you can just hold that over everyone's head forever. It's like I got the crossbow kill in AHGL, bruh. Mad?
Everybody else will be like, hey, remember when you lost? He's like, yeah, but that one kill, I'm insane.
That crossbow kill. It's like, I didn't need first place. Crossbow kill, I already won. Already won. So we got some teams starting to hole up towards the middle now. Off on Vendita, the most central team. We've got Team 6 just chilling, holding tight. Voyas from Team 7 kind of stuck out on his own in the southeast. The rest of his team is still outside of the safe zone by Los Leones. How did Diginet made a really, really, really wide rotation? Am I crazy? He was all the way on the east side. Yeah, and he's coming in from the south now.
Yeah, he was over by Team 3 on the very east on the north side of Impala. So for him to wrap that far, curious to see if he went in the compound that's kind of just outside that circle in this area that I'm showing on the map here. But instead, he's going to end up south of Leones. He is the last one left for his team, so needs to be a little bit careful as Team 7 towards the upper half of the standings, there for a reason. But you can kind of see what the top teams are doing, the ones that we're going to be following the most. Number 1 here, Google Free. These guys in the lead by a decent amount of points, everything being doubled as well today to kind of give a chance for some of these bottom teams to get back in it. But the way that they're playing is really smart. They go towards roughly the center of the map, pick a compound, and just kind of wait it out. The kills will eventually funnel in. It's how most pro teams play nowadays, where middle ground is the most important, giving yourself a hard cover, a dedicated building with walls as compared to a soft cover like rocks and trees. So really smart play from them. Part of the reason why they are in first place. So keep an eye on them.
Yeah, and they put themselves in a good spot too, right? You know, you make sure that the assignment of loot as well. Seeing that M24 in Jay Free's hands, he's been the big killer on that team, right? He's got the 6x scope on him, so he's got all the utility that he needs. For the motorcycle inside of the house as well, so they're ready to roll if necessary.
Watching Team 6 though, fighting Team 5 who just rolled in. Right now they've already got one down, but need to be careful. There's Team 16 as well, just on the south side of them. Whipple deciding not to use the crossbow right now. Kind of upset with him, but I'll get over it. As he jumps into the window, he's going to try to move up against Kovacs, Magic, and Salty, who they already knocked. Looks like, oh my god, is going to get the kill on Salty, now putting them in
Purple
a
team
4 versus 2.
Team 5 has been taking some shots from around the sides. They've been getting hit by 6 and 16 up in that little compound up the hill a little bit. So getting pinched like that, never a fun spot to be in. You're getting that 2 versus 1. But Ayane takes some shots as he tries to make his way down following the rest of his team. They're going to have to worry about Team 16 getting those hits in from the side if they try to move to that open field as well. Purple team is going to try to drive around the outside. And there's also a fight towards the top side as well with 11 and 8.
Need to be careful as well, as there is a crate in La Bandita, but jumping all the way over. You see the damage indicators coming out. The Dirty is being some nasty shots coming out. Unfortunately, Varen does get dropped and eliminated. Trying to jump in. These guys are all the way up north. Only one left, and it is Hobo. He is not on that vehicle, luckily, as it does get exploded.
This is a great throw there out of out of our teammate to blow that up, making sure he has no way to get out of here other than on foot. He's going to have to run all by his lonesome. There are multiple vehicles here available for teammates. They should be in a great position to get out whenever they need to. That circle is closing in as it's going to continue to close in on that La Bendita central zone.
Smart play for Hobo, just backing off. He is the last one available for his team, so he's going to live to fight another day. As Team 8 does claim the grounds, they're going to have to move in. Jumping in with Team 18 right in the middle of it all. Digital Security trying to fight off multiple shots and deaths coming out everywhere. Looking at the kid feed, unfortunately, nice vibe does drop down Digital Security. Sitting in open field, they're just trying to thirst him out, try to remove him from this match as Team 18 losing another 2, but Jinx with the M249 behind, getting him playing third party. Does knock down Segway, luckily for him. Nice vibe, has a smoke and to drop some utility on top to help the line of sight, maybe get a revive. He does spot him out, gets a couple shots, pulls out the SKS, has him in the shack. But
this is an absolute bloodbath. This is just carnage all over the place. Half the teams on the west side down 6 and 16, finally forced to engage as well. And just a couple of guys squeezing in from the southeast corner trying to avoid all of this madness. But Team 1 still hold up in that northeast, taking shots, but 15 and 13 are engaging. And it's just combat everywhere now. People finally being forced in real close to running out of room to move slowly through.
Now this is a rough spot for Jinx as well. He's got 2 teammates for 15 on one side and 2 on the other side. He's going to have to bob and weave as he gets hit for 23 for more and enough. Jinx gets dropped down. That is our second team eliminated. Team 13 now officially gone. Difficult for him. Did have the power weapons, but wasn't able to make it work.
Yeah, when you're on your own in a situation like that, it's tough, man. It's you're going through the water. There's a lot of sharks. Some slim pickings there. Hughes picks off Shingo. 7 and 3, very close in this compound. Southeast, just a few feet away from each other. These guys are.
Yeah, he does eventually end up catching that grenade. Not the idea he's looking for. That was the team that was originally fighting with Digi at the very beginning that was able to get away, but now it's just drop on. The first one knocked in that fight. A lot of shots from Royce. Good clean straight from him as well, just trying to get one down. Fortunately, they can't find the vehicle. And on the other half now, that Team 2 that was fighting originally, finding some more friends. Dink Daddy has been dropped. Another fantastic name from our competitors.
It's so good. I like the creativity, you know. Very important skill, the gamer tank handling. Shinerbach gets knocked down. Of course, we're looking at that northwest side of Green Team 2 going up against Team 9 as they make their way inside. Bob the Builder down in that smoke, hoping for a helping hand.
You see Immortal Kid just trying to finish somebody, fighting in the smoke, but Kurth up top probably has the better angle.
Yeah.
See if you can find him. Does see Kai run across the open field. Unfortunately, he's already reloading.
You got to keep moving now. He's Immortal and Kurth are going to start to take that blue damage, and Dooman is up close, but isolated from his team as Chow Chow and Bob the Builder are left behind. Some Kai is just going to just run off on his own, trying to dodge those shots. He makes it into the building, but unfortunately without his teammates, and that's it's going to make it quite difficult. The rest of these guys could potentially push up on him. If you don't necessarily want to take that close quarters fight, it's probably one of the few ways things could go wrong. Bob the Builder finally bleeds out, and these guys are going to work this high ground, but they will need to make their way southeast to get back into that zone.
It's difficult. Obviously, it is now a 1v3 for some Kai. He does have some help on the backside. There is some third partying happening from Team 16 that's taking shots up top on Immortal. Kai's going to run through this open field. It doesn't look like he does. He has one smoke grenade that he could possibly use if he does get in trouble, but needs to bob and weave his way to this compound. Unfortunately, all of them have been occupied already. His best bet here is going directly southeast into those 2 that haven't.
Yeah.
The more he moves, the more he's probably going to be seen, so he's trying to stay quiet.
So I'm looking at Ayan from Team 6 looking out long with that M16, trying to get some taps onto Team 9, looking for Kurth. Not able to land. Looks like he gets one shot in on him, but not able to pick him off, and actually loses sight of some Kai, so it's going to give him maybe a little bit of an opportunity to get out of there, because he's been in a tough spot for a little while now.
Yeah, and having a lot of ground to cover. Even even more comes sweeping in. Does spot one in the middle. Trying to get it with that barrel spray. Can't do it. Dude does get the win. Looks like he's going to go for the thirst, possibly.
Makes it out of that with 13 hit points. Gets the finish off. Don't forget, those kills are worth, I think by default, they're 10 points. So in our finals, it should be 20 points per kill. It really helps to push those scores up for these teams. Big gunfight up top side as well between team 4 and 8. And also on the west side, 16 and 18 are right in each other's faces.
Shots coming out. You say Jacob Daya trying to drop a molly down on Kenny, but Noah's right next to him. It doesn't matter. Gets the help. Team 18 has been eliminated. Jake did peek. It wasn't for nothing. His teammate able to finish him off. But it's not over yet. There's 3 teams all within about 50 to 100 meters of each other. Surprisingly enough, Kai has gotten through all of this and is now making his way to victory. I don't know how he's managed to sneak through that.
I love it.
This guy is next level snake.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've got our solid snake here slipping his way through. That's some real tactical espionage avoiding the rest of these teams. As Team 8 wipes the blue team number 4, and it looks like they're gonna get 16 versus 9 going down here. A little bit of that high ground play for MRIRS and Och Henry. One of their teammates is knocked down, but Kurth, Gensen, Dooman, and Immortal, they all come around at the same time. They're gonna push. We see MRI get knocked down. Cherry gets hit from the side, and Team 16 is gonna get wiped out.
Clean plays coming out. Attacking from both sides, really well done. Obviously going back to the other side of the map now. Robot Wizard getting involved with team number 7. As Diginet still managed to survive. He's going to hide in that middle of the field in the shack, not moving at all. You also saw team number 1, our leaders, going in and moving to other compounds, trying to stay centralized. Tropod keeping up to date with him, the last one for his squad also, but we've got a fight breaking out between 15 and 17. Both AJ and his teammate really low, as AJ does get knocked out. That's
so tough. Such a hard position to defend. They got the little bit of the hay barrels, but there's so many angles these guys can push in from. Distant Tech on his own as AJ Rising is going to bleed out. Gets him with the grenade. And that's it. These 2 guys are going to get left on their own, saying, where is the backup? Where is the help? There is none to be found. Team 17 is going to get knocked out over there. One of their players is still remaining somewhere far away.
They've got 2 players still in the very southwest. So,
but those
splitting
guys
up
are
quite a bit.
And it's, you know, if you knew you were gonna lose the fight, then it's like, okay, well, some of us will make it and move us further, but it does help sometimes to have everybody together. It's a tough spot to be in. We got Team 8 holding the lip of this northern cliff, shooting down.
Need to be a little bit careful. Obviously, Team 7 and Team 10 both occupying this compound in buildings next to each other. Should be safe for at least the next phase. Phase 4 and 5 are kind of the death zone phase. So
yeah, it's the awkward neighbor situation you're talking about. Dr. Freebird actually downs Voyas out in the smoke. These 2 guys still have that building that they're working inside now. GGTY and Bites have kind of spread out. Voyas is going to crawl inside of the compound, so he should be able to get the res on his teammate there. And so many smoke grenades kind of just messing with the vision here. Throws the grenade, not able to hit pay dirt. But yeah, you were talking about it. That zone is going to force these guys eventually to come in out of each other, and Team 15 will be running towards these players soon as well.
Yeah, need to be careful. Team 15, unfortunately, getting engaged upon as well. Have to keep an eye on them as GGTY needs to find a way to finish off this other team. Otherwise, they're going to get pushed from the side. This could be dangerous if we take a look at that angle as well. These guys are going to be riding up, might be able to catch him off guard. He needs to find hard cover as well, as they do have roughly a minute and a half to fight before this zone becomes an actual problem. Shifts aren't going to be that much longer. It's just a matter of finding the cover. Probably the hill northwest of them is their best bet, having that high ground. But
this is the shift. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Freebird, he's got this high ground area, but these guys have to deal. Team 15 pushing up on them now. Meanwhile, Team 7 is still spread out a little bit. GG2I kind of almost feel like you want to get back with your teammates. You're worried about the grenades, but getting cut off here could really, really hurt considering the numbers game. It's a 2v3v4. And then you've still got Team 8 that's been looking out over that cliff towards them this whole entire time.
Just south of us as well. Team 1 has eliminated Team 3, so that could be a big swing in the point differential, opening it up for possibly another squad. But still, yeah, Team 15 on the lip here. Just taking their time. They're slowly moving in.
The last Team 17 player does take out one of our leading team players, but he gets domed by J Free with that M24.
He's the one that everybody's been worried about. The kill leader. for his team throughout all 12 weeks of play. He's just trying to find angles, playing it smart.
You can see why there. They made it pretty far, and he's landing those shots where they count. Team 15 choosing not to push into those compounds, by the way. The way they're circling around here, trying to play inside the circle, but they don't want to get too aggressive. It is a weird situation for them because they have the biggest team, but now they're taking the shots from Google all the way on the other side. XK lands that shot down. Subtle stampede. That is such a long shot to land. Goodness gracious.
It's a good shot. Unfortunately, not being able to get anything to finish for it, but it may allow an opportunity for Team 7 and Team 10. Both these guys still have not yet to move. Just holding their ground. You see that a lot in the competitive play. These guys are usually going to allow the blue zone to force a push. As for Team 15, looking at their options, their best bet is actually to probably wrap north and go low side of this and try to get up behind them. Unfortunately, if they do that, they're going to run straight into Team 8. So quite a predicament because south is just wide open field.
Yeah, I feel like this east side is still where all the craziness is set up. The res was able to get done on Subtle Stampede, but a little bit more damage is coming in on these guys as they start to push these compounds a little bit more. Team 8 raining fire from above. And I feel like, you're playing this outside, you're playing a little bit worried in the buildings, but...
Freebird lands one K98 shot, tries to get another, but gets chunked for quite a bit. 88 damage going down on him, so... He's going to have to sit and heal as Robot also trying to cover angle. Starting to see Team 15, though, move up, trying to find something here as the blue zone starting to slowly inch its way in. Going to force a lot of fights here on this eastern compound as Team 1 also going to have to move in on, I think that's 5 and 9. So,
yeah, I almost wanted to see them
going to break out here.
I almost wanted to see them make that hard push into one of these compounds earlier so that they could move as 4, just because the fire they've been taking from the flank from Team 8 without that hard cover has really been a hard in their sights. Gets hit with the Molotov. Jack Gazelle is on the run. Gets Dr. Freebird. He's going to get knocked down by Bites, though. And here we go. We see all these different teams coming in. And Robot Wizard with the flank is going to get the double kill on Team 15. Oh my goodness, barely survives that grenade as well, trying to save Dr. Freebird. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to.
Okay, gets it over.
Oof.
Still a little far.
It's intense.
I mean, you saw exactly what happened, though. 3 teams involved in that. And
that was a mess.
Spread evenly.
Oh, Robot Wizard. He goes around the outside, somehow manages to dodge those bullets from Vias. Not going to try to save Dr. Freebird, and he will get eliminated. Good night, Team 10. Eliminated.
Really clean fight from Vias, using those corner peeks, making sure to alternate in between shots. That way...
DigiNet's going to have to finally leave his shack now, by the way. He's been chilling in here for a while.
Hopefully John doesn't look to his east. Otherwise, Digi is going to find a friend he does not want to deal with. He's actually taking shots first. Unfortunately, with the UMP and a 3X, it's going to be pretty far away and gets picked up. GGTY going to get another kill and secure an elimination, moving themselves to a minimum of 7th and 6th place. But teams now starting to drop by flies. Yeah. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't give... Actually, probably the better thing not to give more points over to team number 1.
Yeah, I mean, he got pinched. That's a tough spot. That's a tough spot to be in. Not really anywhere to run. Some Kai, our other solo player right now, just chilling inside of this house. He's the guy that's made it. I'd say he's got some insane... Him and DigiNet really racking up the miles on this trip. You know what I'm saying? Well, lots of distance covered.
Looks like Team 6 knows he's there. They're throwing nades at him left and right. For him, probably a smart play. Wrapping it wide, unfortunately for him. There's not a whole lot of cover. He does have one smoke grenade. Could possibly use it to lay something down on the line. But
getting up that hill is going to be
right at him.
Yeah, Team 8's up there as well. And if he gets over the hill, he's going to be running straight into Team number 1. Some Kai does get taken out. But that means that Team 8 and 6, very close.
Luckily for Team 8, they are on the outside. No hard cover, but do have the best area of attack as the spray comes out from Steams. Unable to land much. Does get knocked forward in the process. His teammate right waiting on the wing does go prone, trying to use this deflate of this hill. He's going to drop a smoke and hopefully get off a revive on his teammate. And shots coming out, hopefully from the team from another angle.
It's tough because he's still got to worry about that blue, and teammate does get picked off. Dirty G. Oh my goodness, down by the grenade right as he finally tries to get up and leave. And he is stuck. Chip would have to go pretty far to save him. They're shooting downhill towards Team 6. Pathari is going to get knocked down. Always Cody making his way up through that path. And John is also third partying here. Actually steals that kill, finishing off Pathari. And Always Cody's just running on his own.
Joining in with our kill leader, though, Jay Free. Just kind of sweeping the area, trying to see if he can find anybody else to pick off. Looking at that shack, doesn't spot anybody just yet. He does have 2 other teammates helping out as they do spot Team 8 on the hill. Unfortunately for Team 8, GGTY is going to be sneaking up right behind them, jumping on his perspective. He's doing this slowly, just watching those angles, trying to see if he can find anybody. As one pops over the corner, he lays some spray, trying to get him down. Does get him relatively low. He's going to push and get the knock, but there's another one right behind.
That's a tough spot.
He gets picked by Jay Free.
Wow, the third party helping him out a little bit. That's going to buy a little bit of time for Team 8. He shoots down towards Voyas. He's going to get the knockdown on him as well. Could try to thirst both of those kills, get the extra points. He's going to be thanking his lucky stars for Team Blue coming in to help save. But K is not going to give him that much time to celebrate as he shows up. And, whoa, actually Bites managed to get the finish off there. K ran over for a cleanup, but he was denied. The janitor had already paid a visit.
Now we're talking about bushwookies here, always coding in the middle of the #1 team. Just try not to make any noise. That actual gun movement could have been dangerous as John's going to go right on by.
I love it. He has no idea. He's just prone in the bush. He's just chilling.
Now this is a tough one to handle as well. It's 1v1v3. The #1 team with 3 players still left alive. He does get XK dropped. I don't even think they know where it came from. I don't think you should go for the finish. He needs to play the player.
They were pushing down onto Bites, and Bites on that low ground is going to have a hard time shooting up towards both of these players. He's very low, does get picked off. And then there were 2 teams. K down up top. Jay Free and John got to push up towards Always Coding.
And then there were 2 teams.
What can I say?
K, this is actually really smart from K, using his life to kind of spot out where coding is.
It seems like he knows where. Yeah, he's spotted. If you look at his perspective, he's got.
I don't think John knows though.
He's like, guys, he's in the bush. He's like, which bush? Like, there's only so many. And K is gonna get taken out by the blue.
So the nice thing is for team #1, they do have the zone. There's nothing they really have to worry about here.
Always Coding is up. He's moving.
Covering multiple angles. Coding with the good play, playing low side, wrapping, using this hill coverage. If he can take out Jay Free, I think he's got a pretty solid chance. Unfortunately for him, that 4x on that M4 going to be difficult to control that spray.
Yeah, he's very close. He's very close,
right
JP. But John is circling around too. He might be coming in.
Can he land the shots? He gets one. Doesn't matter. They get the trade. Winner, winner, chicken dinner going to the #1 team. Jay Free obviously going to get the last kill. Storybook ending is what it feels like.
It was a couple of really cool things to see. The little play on the bottom side, his bite kind of draws everybody over, and then we get to see that very funny play from Always Coding. Lots of kills racked up by #1 team as well, so they're feeling good, man. Double points for that victory since we're in the finals, and they were already on top. And you know what? It just keeps getting better.
Yeah, really good plays for them. I don't know if Coding actually got that kill on XK either, because I know he was on top of the hill, but he didn't finish him. So he does get 2 knocks, but I don't think he gets the points for it.
I think it said he died to the blue. I think he didn't get any shots on him past the bleed out phase, but
you never know. Those points could be a difference maker, but that is going to do it for match #1. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will have another match for you guys, which is going to be on AHGL, probably my favorite map. A lot of exciting stuff there, but don't go anywhere. This is the After Hours Gaming League. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the After Hours Gaming League. I am Lawler. Alongside me is Nathanius. Nathanius, you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I did undeafen. So I was a little worried about. We had an exciting first match on Miramar, obviously, and kind of unexpectedly. Google Free Chicken coming out with a win. Jay Free obviously had a fantastic match. Coming out, but John actually, the one with 4 kills leading the squad.
Yeah.
Another one I want to pay attention to. A team that was originally in 11th has now jumped up and took 2nd place. That was Naughty Dog. So congrats to them, showing that they can also do it. Compete with the big boys. I love it. I love it.
And you know what? Colado comes off the back. Always Coding did a great job of staying alive in the late stages of that game, seizing a couple of opportunities to grab a few cheeky kills here and there, and it's just good. It's fun. I'm liking it. We're getting a little bit of that, the hardcore play coming out of these guys. They want to win. Of course, the prize money's for charity, but they're also having a little bit of fun with it, and it's giving us something to enjoy. I think Jay Free, he was one of the players we were talking about getting into this. He said in the chat after the game, he's like, well, I was the potato this time, man. John put the team on his back.
Yeah, it's good to see that they're really spreading out the help. For me, I really need to see Epic PUBG step it up. They took 13th in that one. They are representing the Children's Hospital of Wisconsin, my home state, so
Oh,
a little biased. But yeah, these guys obviously competing for charity, trying to get some money for charity. But a lot of the top guys, like Google Free Chicken, doing Electronic Frontier Foundation, stuff like Naughty Dog, who just took second, our St. Baldrick's Foundation Incorporated. So there's a lot of different charities that these guys are representing. So it's tough because there has to be winners, and not everybody can, do the best for their charity. But it's all for a good cause, so make sure you guys do pay attention to that. All that information can be found on Battlefy, which is the tournament organization group. So interesting stuff there. Otherwise, you can ask us, and we'll try to answer it for you. So either way, we're going to get into the action, jumping in-game, looking at the map. It looks like we are going to have a circle that is on the northwest side of the screen.
and there will be a little action at the start of this. It looks like already saw a few shots fired in the center area. We did have multiple teams land around that apartment school, Rosjog area, where very central. Gotta be careful at all times. But I always like my games on air and go, it's always gonna be the original.
Yeah, the long-standing map has definitely kind of shown some changes throughout the years. Obviously, for those that don't play PUBG, a lot of the stuff like Stalber and everything on the northeastern side was kind of irrelevant. Nobody really played it just because it was so far out. But the fact that they've added a lot of these smaller compounds around the map has really spread it out. And you can see teams like team number 8 here, Tesla Shock Troops, deciding to go to Kamishki, which is one of the newest areas. So for the most part, I think the thing I like most about the circle is there is water that cuts it directly in half, right in the middle. So a lot of options kind of spreading it out, and hopefully we get some action later on. Usually the circle will try to end up with majority land. We've seen some really silly ones in the past. I know when you and I worked together in Seattle, it was kind of
weird ones.
But
we had one that was like the first circle was like on Primorsk, and like half of it was water, and everyone was like, what?
It was like, so I'm in the water right now. This is pretty much what the circle is. It was bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, it was painful. It was painful. I mean, the competitors, of course, persevered, but at a at a steep cost to their sanity.
So taking a look at the map, for the most part, you're seeing team number 22, your Mirror Mars. What a name! What a name! Already going towards the center. Jinx and the rest of the guys trying to follow in pursuit, but nothing too crazy. They might see some overlapping there, but for the most part, the only two teams that you really see close next to each other were the ones that were originally at Sosnovka, and that was Team 25. That was DRW. That ended up backing off and allowing WUBG to get it. So,
yep.
A couple things around Rozhok and school is Jinx with this vehicle trying to get away. The solo Crusader yet again. See what he can do. Made it relatively far from the Discord squad, but
his last match was interesting, right? He got the first care package of the game. Well, that's, this is the commentator word is always to throw interesting out there, but he did get the first care package. He got a couple shots in, and I gotta have a little bit of respect for the tenacity of the underdog. And I think I speak for everybody here when I say everyone loves an underdog story. We all love it. We want to see it. Maybe not too much, but yeah.
It's not hard to.
It's like, what if, it's always the what if.
Yeah. For those that are a little bit newer to PUBG, usually the first like 5-10 minutes, usually phase 1. Partial phase 2 is kind of just weeding out where people are going to go, as well as just kind of getting kitted and looted up and trying to make sure they're ready for a fight. But a lot of action right in the very center. Again, this man is gifted a crate.
Oh my god. Yeah, the guys say the crate's going to go right on him again, just like in the last game. Ooh, and that's... Goodness gracious. Well, that's some sick loot. That's the kind of gun that you want if you're on your own a little bit. You're trying to play a little bit of that ninja style. You're trying to avoid running into anyone too early. But he is going to have to wear it. We do have Team 15. Our boy, Dr. Freebird over there on Team Velasi. Got to be careful going for those care packages solo.
Yeah, the reason why the Om's so powerful, not only is it the strongest sniper in the game, and he is going to be able to take that and get out safely, so luckily for him, but it's more so the capability that when the time does come, if he needs to take a headshot or whoever it is, he doesn't have to deal with it not knocking the player, right? No matter what helmet they're wearing, no matter what, as long as he lands a headshot, that player will get knocked down. So the ability to basically remove someone, because he is going to be going up 1v4 in most of these scenarios, is extremely powerful. Even body shots, 2 body shots, no matter what vest, will knock you with an AWM. So very strong gun in the game. There's a reason why it only shows up in crates. Let's see if he can do anything with it. But in the meantime, he's just going to kind of hold his own. Maybe he can be his own Bush Wookiee today. We'll find out later. Taking a look at some of these other locations. Looks like PUBG finally starting to move out from Sosnovka military base. Difficulty for them, though, is there is one team on both bridges just waiting patiently.
Oh, my God. Yes, the bridge trolls. Thank you. Team 9. Oh, my goodness. FB, move fast. My boys over here. They've got this bridge on lock. They have their escape vehicle ready to go. Team 17 is going to have to make their way across Zoic if they want to be able to get out of here. They could go through the west side.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Zoic is going to do. Because if they go west side, they're going to be closer to the circle itself and can avoid a lot of the action. But it looks like Jinx is under fire, kind of keeping up with him. 222, Santec does spot him out. Jinx is off-roading a little bit.
He's flipping the US.
The car is out. He actually pops out and ends up going on the wrong side, but luckily he is relatively far away. The 3X not going to be able to do too much work. Unfortunately for him, though, he's in the middle of the circle and has no vehicle with no cover. So
he's got the position. He's got some of the guns.
Is that what he does? He just goes on this middle island and just
just swim out. Go, become the Bush Wookiee of the middle island. There you go.
It's not gonna be an exciting game for him, but a win's a win. Man.
Team 9 is gonna find themselves a little bit disappointed here as our boys in the dark green, Team 17, Zoic, have made their way west, so they will be going towards the west side bridge. No one is camping that one. My dreams are dashed. All I wanted to do was see some bridge camping action. I have been denied.
Yeah, bridge camping is kind of risky. Obviously, you do have the ability to get the extra bit of loot, but they do have Team 6. Google Free, our #1 squad right now. Waiting in the wing, those shots pretty easily found and can gatekeep that easily. So probably works out for your bridge camp buddies in the end. As these guys all start to reconvene, the blue zone starting to move in. This is still phase 1, I'm pretty sure. It's still phase 1 for quite a while, so not too much damage. Can definitely, as long as you got a vehicle, you can eat it actually quite a bit, and that's something some of these teams will do. You could possibly see Team 25, since they have the full squad pretty much together.
They're still out. Some of them are still out on the end of Primorsk as well, so he's going to need to make that adjustment. Assuming they have vehicles, it shouldn't be an issue. Not too many teams actually that close to each other just yet. Everyone's kind of fanned out nicely. Some of them have driven past each other, but for the most part, everybody's still alive and kicking. And really, I mean, you talked about this. It's like the later phases when naturally people start to get pushed a little bit closer together. This is one of the ones that sets the stage. As Military Island is finally abandoned, the bridge campers are going to have to make their way out of here as they are going to realize, okay, nobody must be there. Our tactics have not paid off. Spice is right, kind of driving over by Undirected on the southwest, Team 25, but they will drive away from each other. So no engagements just yet that I can see.
The best part about him driving right now is he's peeking right as he drives straight. So his guy is just like one-handing the bike, but his hand's not on the throttle. So he's just kind of cruising along.
I like it. He enjoys. You know, I like the bike in PUBG just because that mobility is so fun and
you can do backflips.
Fun to just. You can do backflips. You can do front flips. And you can also, accidentally kill yourself pretty easily as well. And then your whole team yells at you.
Have you gotten a chance to play the new map, Vikendi, the snow map?
Yeah.
So they have snowmobiles, and I can't find any ramps, and I've wanted to do a backflip so bad because the pitch works the same way as a bike. So I know it's possible, but I can't find a ramp to do it.
That's a new life goal for me.
I'll see you later. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, let's get it done.
It
looks like Deliv just took out Shingo. We have the engagement up top. We've got Workday going up against the Tesla Shock Troop. Shingo is going to get eliminated there. Caffeine and Tropod are still circling around that zone. Looks like Caffeine's going to drive towards the south side. Tropod going up towards the north. But engaging 2 versus 4, I think it's a bit of a risky proposition.
Yeah, Tropod again finding himself in a similar situation as game 1. They had that early engagement versus Digi and the guys that they were able to escape from. Remember, Digi had that wide rotation and ended up in that shack, eventually getting removed from Google. So for him, it's a lot of being the last one surviving again. Obviously, Caffeine again spread out. They do have this team technically pinched, but to really take this engagement, like, it's commendable. But for him, like, going on the top side of this, he's still not in the next zone, as a lot of shots are breaking out. You're looking at on the northeast of the new zone. Jinx is just taking this boat. He's the one with the arm.
I love it. He's like, well, I gotta keep that on. He's like, I gotta get out of here. 87 hit points. Yeah, well, he's like, you know what? I drive out of the zone. Oh my god, that boat, it's on fire. Okay, I'm nervous. I'm sweating.
Ton of shots happening though. Team 17 on the very southwest of the map, finding out Team 25. Zoic versus DRW. Gonna be able to remove Diginet, which is just talking about him. Unfortunately, he's not gonna be able to get his way out of this one. Looks like their UAZ was eliminated. But
yeah, Diginet, he was our shack boy from the last game. He held out quite a while.
Dope and Spice is right. Do have a bike here. I'm surprised they're not gonna take it. Probably should. I mean, they're right on the blue. There's no one really by them. Big thing, though, is just north of them, you see Vias and the rest of the guys from GGTV, our green team last game, number 12 now for WUBG, fighting close with Jolium as Magic does get knocked down. Snipe Down is going to be pushing on the northwest side of the compound. Does spot him out, so he's going to thirst him. He does get him once just to assert a little bit of dominance, let him know he's there.
Yeah. Doesn't want to tunnel vision too hard on it in case he's getting flanked. Someone's rotating around him, playing it slow. Kovacs going to get down by GGTY, though. So Step Down's teammate doing a good job covering the angles. And that means there's only one of them standing tall so far. I like Snipe Down circling around. He's looking for him. He sees the smoke. He's like, oh, you trying to res him? Nuh-uh-uh. Ba-boom. Great play. Great team play there. Each of them getting one of the frags, mopping up team number 10, Jolium.
That was just really good formation from everybody. They had the initial shots down. They do get the knocks, which makes it difficult. And he does have utility. He does cover off one of the angles, but most circumstances, try to throw a smoke on you so they can't see where you're reviving. The difficulty is a lot of people want to revive right up against hardcover. So for me, like, I'm just going to full spray that corner and hope that I get something out of it. Would have worked out, but unfortunately he doesn't.
The thing was, even with the smoke, like, he was, at least from my perspective, it looked like he could see him anyways. So it wasn't really covered enough by it either. So making it really easy to take that 2-tap basically makes things easy for you. Good little spot to be in there. Some other shots do get fired. Got 23 and 16, pretty close to each other on the west side. Kenny Blank's looking out towards Hobo. They've got their vehicle out in the open as well.
You also do see Savanto for Team 22. Spotting out the last member from Team 8. Or no, Team 8 also, Tesla Shock Troops does have... No! Jinxies! What happened?
Rip Jinx!
No.
How did it happen? Did he fall out of his car?
He takes the elm with him, man. That's all that matters.
Oh.
Poor
Tragic.
guy. Yeah, it's Tropod and Caffeine. You got Tesla Shock Troops against Miramar's. Right outside of Ruins, these guys trying to kind of cut these guys off. They are rotating right up. He does see the grenade being thrown up from Tropod. Waiting to take that shot. Doesn't know his location just yet as he pushes up this hill. Civ played it smart, not giving away his position, just waiting to see if there's anybody else with him. He's going to back off and reconvene with his team. But unfortunately, DeSantek is alone.
Yeah, there's some action going out and some around the other sides of the map. We saw one of the players, Steams. A lot of people in the chat were cheering for this guy. He has been killed on the east side of the map. A lot of people still driving around. Dr. Freebird and his team, by the way, in the northwest with Robot Wizard. These guys took their sweet time getting out of Georgia Pole. Took a long time. They're going to eat quite a bit of damage from the blue trying to get back inside the safe zone.
Look for them as long as they stay within probably 100 meters or so. The damage isn't too bad, so they're going to start taking a little bit less. Nice thing for them is they can hear a lot of these shots going off as you see GGTY and the rest fighting back and forth. Curious to see on how it's going to play out. Centric was able to get away, so no difficulties for him, but the thing I have questions on is this team that is in both their vehicles. If you look at Bites and GGTY and the guys that were in roughly top 4 last game, completely spread out north and south side of Pochinki. Team 7 Cap 1, our team in second. This compound does spot out to live.
Yep, that scrap here between between Workday and Cap One. I'm having a rough time here. I mean, so Cap One's got the building. They've got a little bit of this nice high ground position to work with, but the more spread out cover, the foliage, is definitely favoring our 20 team. Gonna land one of the shots there. Deliv is taking some heat. He's got to be very careful. His teammates are not that close to be able to help him. Crossing over will be difficult. And looking around here. Gotta play it slow. I mean, these guys are all in the safe zone. We do have some shots on the east side. GGTY's vehicle getting shot at by team number 9. Move fast. Trying to hit these guys, and he takes them out while driving. Oh my goodness. GGTY left bleeding on the ground.
Gnarls with a really good shot, just trying to finish off the rest of these guys. This was the team that I was talking about that was split. Right now they're alone. One does get knocked immediately. GGTY is going to be removed.
Yeah, he's dead.
His teammate probably going to follow suit shortly after.
Yeah, John gets sniped down, so we see more points going there for our highest ranked team, Google Free Chicken.
Playing the same way they did, right in the middle of the, pretty much the exact middle of the zone. Could probably go a little bit more south, but able to cover that wide open field to catch anybody rotating in. As shots finally start to break out between your Tesla shock troops and DRW. Damage indicators everywhere as Team 25 completely eliminated. The two do take out the other two. Well played by Tropod and Caffeine.
Nice, as I say, Caffeine picks up a really nice double kill there. Tropod providing a great amount of assistance and cover there. Caffeine definitely putting the team on his back. He's got the 2 kills from that. As these guys make their way inside, he does look like he has plenty of meds to be able to get himself back in. 23 was also getting a little scrap earlier. We got Team 7 shooting at Team 15 now. Freebird, their truck blows up! Oh my god.
What
I don't know if I jumped to that one too fast, but some guy just blew up the truck and killed all of them. They all died in the U.S.
He's using that 8X SKS. He was the one that was initially trading with, I think it was to live in the warehouse. Was able to get a couple shots off, but now another team gone just due to a focused fire. Vehicles, although great for mobility, can also just completely remove your team. That's why most teams will try to have about 2 vehicles if possible. Not the easiest thing. The good thing, though, for Team 12, for PUBG, even though the 2 teammates did die on the south end, the 2 that went north are finding out.
They got Dooman. Dooman's going to get picked off there. Vias doing a good job there. Mortal Kid is still alive. He's kind of holding by that little mogul towards the left side. But he's got to kind of cross through. That's a tough spot to get through on your own if these guys hold it. Long shot from Voyas over towards near 10. He's going to... Doesn't look like he's connecting just yet. A lot of shots coming from both these sides.
Hit him with one, just follow him off. Unfortunately,
they should give Immortal Kid some time to run away at least. Maybe.
Yeah, he does find a rock there, so he should be safe relatively, but that's a lot of open field for these guys. He's gonna have 20 seconds. No, shot for 76 damage right off the top.
It's hard. You know, a lot of bullet drop to control in SKS is tough, but he's just trying to get that finish. There we go. Wow.
Gonna secure some points. Smart play for him. Unfortunately, it does allow Kid to get back around. That was the initial team that they were fighting. Team 14, Kerner. So he's going to sneak out. A lot of action going on in those hills. He does go all the way and wraps back up, so he's going to be fine. A lot of open field as well on this side, so he's going to be able to get himself way in, but needs to be careful as this wide open field being guarded heavily by our #1 team, Google Free Chicken.
Those guys have been dominating, and for good reason. We see why they come into the finals as the leading team and why they are maintaining that position so far. As we got Jig 244 just kind of driving straight into Pajinki, eating a hail of bullets from Team 13. The Dirty G is killed. Oh, no. He takes a lot of damage getting out of that vehicle, blocks the door on himself.
Oh goodness. Luckily he lives. Luckily he lives.
He's got 7 first aids, and he's boosted right now, so he has... There's potential. He's just got a... He's just a hail of bullets flying over him. He's like, this is fine. Everything's okay. I feel a little sorry for him.
A little bit dangerous. He knows he's in trouble, so he's just going to take any cover he can and try to get out of there. Now, the 2 walls that he's next to, not this one, but the ones to his right, those little pillar kind of slanted things, you can actually walk up those. physics in PUBG are kind of weird. I think we can all agree upon. So
yeah, I mean, in real life, if you tried hard enough, in real life, if you tried hard enough, I think maybe you could get up that. So
not this body.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, you know, this is one of those situations where it's kind of closing in on Pachinki. So a lot of players are going to be fanning out and spreading out around these buildings. You see a lot of teams just holding up compounds. Google Free Chicken has spread themselves out quite a bit. We got some long shots being traded on the top between team 12, 22, and 23. 23 still playing out in the fields, trying to pick off PUBG if they can. Of course, team 23, our Epic PUBG team. Trying to get those shots across the long field, never easy. Looks like Team 7 took a shot up north towards them. They kind of caught a glimpse. They don't have the crazy angle. Dink Daddy's been peeking out this window looking for an opportunity, but I think a little bit of the hills, the cover working in favor of Epic there, and that he's not, doesn't look like he's going to be able to get any more shots in this situation. Team 9 and 11, though, going at it in the southeast corner of Pachinki. OMG Ain peeking outside.
Fortunately for them as well, on the northwest side, Team 23 for Epic PUBG does end up spotting out the team right above them in the standings, Miramar's. The shot's going back and forth. It does look like Nota is going to get one. Drops out Civ. These guys are trying to get to the church and get some hard cover. Fortunately, not too many angles, despite being the high ground up there. You're putting yourself out of a very rough spot if you end up going on top of the building. You kind of get spotted from every single area. Shots kind of breaking out. There's so many teams as well on this west side of this circle that still aren't in, and it's a lot of open field too.
I've been looking at Tropod. He kind of got himself into an interesting little position here inside of this warehouse. He's getting ready for any potential push, throwing out the nade, throwing out the smoke. He's kind of had Team 7 pinned down, even though he's just one man. But as you were saying, Lawler, these guys got to get out.
I mean, you're looking at all these guys. So you expect 17 and 13 to run into each other right now. Zoic and Conradicals. Northern's got a lot to deal with, but look at how Jay Free and the rest of the guys from Team 6 for Google are playing. Even though they're in the northeast map, they all have their own individual building. They're all able to cover a separate angle. Really smart play from them. The shot's breaking out. Unfortunately for Tropod, he's going to get completely removed from Epic PUBG. A team of 4 against 1. That is our 8th team eliminated. But John getting knocked down. The difficulty of these guys spreading out is if they don't win their trades, if the teammates aren't close, they can't get to him. Luckily for him, Taka's going to be right there to help out as Team 17 finally finding Northern. Northern, unfortunately, getting removed.
On his own,
talking about on that south side.
Yeah, that 1v3 not playing off too well from. We have Hobo on the outside of the southwest as well, trying to sneak in. Team 22 taking shots northwest, trying to keep Team 23 out. Mars versus Epic PUBG, holding them back.
You can see it from DeSantic's perspective, exactly what I'm talking about. Even though they have the high ground on that hill, he's just got pure deflated. He can't see much. If he goes up top, he can see down into that, but he's leaving himself susceptible to the east, where pretty much everybody's sitting there waiting. Their best bet is just kind of watching their angles. The difficulty, too, being that there's a lot of open windows, a lot of places you can peek, so they need to be careful. The other thing, too, is he is using a barrel, one of the more difficult weapons for spray control. It's a 7.62 rifle with a very fast fire rate. So not as damaged as the AK, but still
a fun gun to use. But yeah, as you were saying, the control, especially if you're going for any amount of range, is going to get difficult very quickly. So these guys are going to rotate down, move into one of these buildings. I like the call. Team 23 is one of the last teams outside of Pachinki. Team 17 is kind of in that southwest farm position. Looks like he was shooting out towards Hobo, who is making the longest rotation of all time to try and avoid these other players.
Which is smart. I mean, there's no reason to engage upon that. He can hear the shots and play this. Obviously, there's a crate that's trying to tease him right in the middle. Shouldn't go for it. I saw him looking at it. But he's got a lot of wide open field here. Unfortunately for him, no smokes on the utility side. So he's going to have to probably go from the shack to that rock and then try to sneak in the back end. If these guys start engaging on each other, he might be able to find his way in here. He's definitely going to have to play it kind of quiet. Does find
gotta hope for one of those. He's got to hope that the circle kind of shifts towards him as well. Give him a little bit of an advantageous spot, and that's not bad. A lot of the teams are going to have to shift a little bit further south. Most of Pachinki is still inside of this safe zone, which means a lot of building plays still going to be there, which is going to slow things down. But the shot's coming out now. Team 20 getting into a scrap.
Jacko just trying to cover the top here. Looking at the stairs, not trying to make sure them inside it. Making sure that the angles are covered as one is down below. Looks like they're going to try to nade it.
Yeah, Henry getting a little bit close. Ooh, the nade down is going to take. I just touched a little bit. Jake from Team 2. And Henry, yeah, he wasn't going to push those stairs.
Back and forth, but unfortunately for them, these guys are both outside. Henry is going to get dropped.
Like that.
You see DeSantic and the rest of the guys, though. They're right across in that 2-story just peeking. Rising, trying to find him. Unfortunately for him, he's out on the balcony with no real cover, so he does get removed. Luckily, he's able to crawl back in. He ends up trying to revive and ends up opening the door again. That could have been detrimental. They're just going to back off and get a revive somewhere else where that's not an issue altogether. That could have been scary, but Team 6, Tonga does get knocked down. Unfortunately, doesn't get removed. That could have been a power play for them. Easily revived back as his teammates waiting in wing as they take another team out. Jayfree and the rest of the players moving. Team 21, Adobe gone.
It's just turning into a bloodbath. It's turning into a bloodbath. The Mortal Kid, the last player from Team 14, is also eliminated, which means his team is gone. And I'm just trying to find, man, there was so much action going down. Team 7 and 23 very close to each other as well. The Spice is finally down. Nota trying to push up onto this building.
Stepping in the perspective of Chow Chow. He is peeking that window, but there's two guys, one on the rock, one on the tree that he's trying to peek in between. He needs to be careful. One on the window. Nota not able to get there. The other one peeks immediately after. He does get the knockdown. Security trying to find Nota in the back corner. It is now 2 down in favor of Team 7, but action, like you said, everywhere. Just trying to see who to pay attention to. These guys need to be careful not to tunnel vision.
Yeah, Epic PUBG, all these guys get downed, and it's just Nota who's not close enough for any of these guys to be able to help them. Stuck in this low ground position, trying to make something happen for his team, but he's prone underneath the tunnel. Bob the Builder is skulking around, trying to find him, but he's like, all right, well, I'm just going to hope that one of you guys is foolish enough to jump down and let me get this pre-fire on you, but I think that's going to be it for most of everybody then from Epic PUBG, as just Nota is going to be crawling his way to try and stay alive.
I love the play, though, from Bob the Builder on Cap 1. The aggressive play style, even though his team's up there and he's putting himself in the middle, he's getting out there and he's finishing those kills rather than leaving it to chance. Because he may just not know where they are. He goes in, plays the aggressive, very decisive action as they do get digital security. The only one left now is Nota, who's sitting on that back end. Luckily, he's not in the safe zone, so they might be able to catch him on rotation, as he is definitely aware that he's got a full team pretty much trying to look out for him, as they know they were knocks and not kills. So, dangerous position, but Dink Daddy does get a beautiful dink as he removes one of the team. Luckily, they are in a shack right in the middle of the zone. For some reason, they're on the outside. If they go into that shack and just wait, the only thing they have to worry about is grenades. So, interesting choice there. The other option is they can go a little bit more south and take that rock.
It's always so dangerous, right? Because that's just past the shack. It's pretty much all open area. You've got a couple of bushes that you can work with for the cover, but you want to be on the receiving end of the rotation, having to deal with them. With good nade from McNarls, takes down Enmity and OMG Ain. They're all down inside of this building. They're going to be able to get the finish-offs on Team 11. So great play there by Move Fast. These guys, well, they're moving pretty quick on these players.
Team 9, UFB Move Fast are playing really smart. They have the edge of the circle as well, so they're going to be able to catch anybody moving kind of in from the other sides. Just need to be careful on their northeast side rather than catching Hobo, who's already rotated all the way back.
He's sprinting.
He's
trying to get out of there.
Hauling, but a lot of action these guys need to be careful of. His Team 7 on the very northwest side trying to close out. They do remove most of the team from Team 20 as Stampede, the only one left, with Nota there as well, but he needs to pop a heal. This is going to chunk hard. 10 damage every single time.
Oh, yeah, that's way too much. Way too much heat coming in on him, as we have quite a few of these different players. Like we have 11 and 6 both closing in on 9, and that is going to be where they fall apart. Just not able to hold it together, getting third party crazy hard. And we have 7, some guy trying to get some loot on the tail end of this. We still have that one team out in the fields. The Google Free Chicken have kind of gone out into the smoke zone, but Smarky McSmokeass trying to get some shots in on him through the smoke.
Yeah, it was difficult. Obviously, Jayfree and the rest of the guys from Google trying to move in from the northeast side of the zone, but they ran straight into that Team 9 as McNarls is going to try to push out. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't realize that the rest of the team, not even close. He's actually not even shooting at the right spot, and he gets removed from behind. Can't handle it. As K and John just covering the edge of the zone, Jay Free's able to make it in, and even though he was pinched behind a wall between two, he's able to escape. But now it's Team 11. Bathari needs to get out. That damage going down. Jay Free able to claim another one, just waiting in the wing, trying to find out any of these guys rotating. Whipple and Bob. Whipple ends up getting Jay Free, but he's got another one right next to him. This could be
got him down. He's stuck in there. Bob the Builder makes the push in. Coming around the side. Taking it a little bit slow. He's slowed down just a little bit. He hears him.
He needs to get a heal off as well. Going upstairs, he's got 30 seconds.
Whipple's hurt. Yeah, he's going to go in the staircase. We see there he is, getting a heal.
Using the medkit as well, so he doesn't have to deal with boosters at all. He's just going to go straight to full health.
Hey, that buys time. XK is able to come over and pick up Jay Free, so he's not going to be bleeding out there. Bob the Builder's still kind of moving around the side here. Whipple Dip's going to come out. He jumps off the roof. Bob the Builder rips him apart.
Now down to 3 teams. We have Dope and the rest of the guys for Team 17 with Zoic in the best position in the middle of the circle. Plenty of room to work with. If they just hold their positions, you see Dope, Prone, and Smart just trying to watch the back end, but they're being careful with some kind of the rest. It's actually a really smart play. Cap 1 in second place. He's actually going to be able to push on Dope in their blind spot. He gets into the shack right next to him. This is a great play from Kai, the one who was a snake in our first game. Does it yet again. But he leaves his 2 teammates to die. Doesn't matter as John does find Dope on the backside. Gets removed. And now it is a 2 versus 2? No, a 1 versus 3.
Ouch, Chihuahua. Well, that's tough. Dink Daddy's going to bleed. Out gets finished off there by XK. So some Kai, he's holding the shack on his own. This is it. It's one shack in a dream. I mean, they're just going to circle around him. I just want to know how many grenades they have. You know what I mean? Like, I feel the chicken is in the oven, and we're just waiting for them to turn it on. Like, that's it. I don't know where he's supposed to go.
They don't have any grenades, but it doesn't matter. Because when you just full auto that, Kai can't do anything. He does whatever he can. It doesn't matter. When you've got 40 rounds blaring through your door.
He did a great job, but at the end of the day, when you're 1v3 and you're hiding in the shack, there's not really a whole lot you can do. But he still did a phenomenal job getting up to second place. Oh, man. And once again, dude, Google Free Chicken slaying Jay Free. Hopefully he'll say he wasn't a potato this time because 6 kills is very impressive.
Yeah, he was pinned as well. I think it was FB moved fast, had them pinned. He was behind the wall. They were almost going to get a knock, but the way that they spread and they wrap that circle, they just cover as many angles as they can and move their way in. So really well played by him again, coming out strong. The big thing for me too is how Kai somehow managed to get to that shack. That play alone allowed them to escape and get second compared to third. So really well done by Cap 1, our number 1 and number 2 team again, ending up in number 1 and number 2. No upsets here from Naughty Dog or the rest of the guys. So kind of my solo heroic effort probably had to go out to probably Hobo. Hobo was able to wrap far. I mean, he took that wide rotation, ended up, unfortunately, ran straight into to Google and the rest, but it happens, man. Those kind of removal plays where you rotate wide could be the difference between, 7th, 8th, or, 3rd, 4th. So,
yeah, it's important to recognize the situations where those rotations are going to give you, even if it's not like as great of a spot, it's just not where you're going to see people and you kind of work that angle. But really well played. I'm super impressed. Google Free Chicken. These guys have really just been crushing it so hard today. And I don't even know if they could be knocked out of first place now with how many points they've gotten from these first 2 map wins.
So Cap 1 is relatively close. Obviously, they got 5th in the last game, so you're talking 165 points. Coming in second with this one, and it's not with minimal kills to boot. I mean, you're talking 12 on their end. Keeps them only 1 kill behind a second place finish, so it's definitely possible. If somehow Google gets, kind of a bounty put on their head and is just like, hey guys, we got to take them out unless they're going to win, and Cap has a good, it's still close. So the big 2 that we're going to pay attention to, I think, a lot in the next coming match, and the final match for us is going to be between Google and Cap 1, the ones that, talking to some of the other guys that have been here watching week in and week out, Cap is a team that has had some struggles, but they've always been consistently like between 3rd and 4th. So they're making a fight out of it. It's been exciting. Give it a couple more. We could maybe see some different results, but it's going to be a battle between our number 1 and number 2, Google and Cap 1. But with that, we are going to go to a quick break. been exciting, and we're going to wrap it all up. Another match of AHGL coming up soon. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the After Hours Gaming League. This is the grand finals between a bunch of teams that are all competing for charity. It's fantastic. $1,800 on the line. And it all comes down to this. We're in our last match of 3 on AHGL. A lot of action already going down. But the teams to kind of pay attention to, number 1, team number 6, they have been leading the charge the whole way. Google Free Chicken, they're in first place with 4,208 points. Second place is Cap 1, the team that's been hot on their heels, with 3,356. So they're going to have to frag out this game. We'll see if that changes up. And then a bunch in suit. But already jumping into the action, a team has been eliminated. Team 21 is gone.
These guys all landed on school, man. It was Team 14 and Team 21 landed on school, and one of them dropped straight onto an AK, got a double down immediately. It was brutal.
That's sometimes the way PUBG goes. Unfortunately for them, they are gone. The thing I think has been the most compelling story so far is Jinxie's yet again alone with the vehicle in the middle of a map. I expect him now to get a crate at some point as well. That's just kind of how it's worked.
That's just what he does. And as you were saying, this is our grand final. This is the final map. There's, we made some changes to the rules for this, the double points and all that jazz. But for some of these teams, it's going to be pretty impossible for them to get up into the top 5 now without having performed a little bit better in the previous round. So some of the teams that we were talking about, they're doing very, very well. Of course, Google Free Chicken in first place. I don't know that they could be toppled. They have such an accumulation of points. I think second place would need to win and get like 10 kills maybe between all of them.
So they not only need to frag out, they all have to have a bunch of kills, but that also means that Google Free Chicken can't. That's if they don't get any points in general, which we all know it probably isn't going to happen. So it looks like Google Free Chicken's in a really good spot to take this, but you just never know what can happen. Maybe someone will try to play spoiler. We'll find out. But so far, it looks like they've got that 1,000 locked up. A bunch of shots still happening at school. Team 14, you're looking at Gerner, and the rest of the guys are Cerner. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Caught in the middle of it all. They're stuck in between Team 13, which is Conradicals. A lot of people in chat cheering them on, seeing Steams and the rest. Trying to survive. They did get caught out. Northern Air was the last one on the south side of our last map trying to run away, but unfortunately wasn't able to get out of it. So just north of them, team at number 7, Cap 1, our second place team, Bob the Builder and the rest, kind of pinching Cerner right in the middle of both. So it looks like they're going to just try to head out. This is kind of no man's land, even though there's a lot of hills and stuff to cover. It is very dangerous to be in the middle, but glad they're making that rotation early rather than waiting till it's too late. So
yeah,
good early
action. I'm looking at Jix as well. He's just still driving around. He's going up towards the Rojak area. You know why? You know why I'm looking at him? Because a crate dropped. There is a crate that it's coming down. It's just landed. And I'm like, this guy, that's what he does. He gets crates. There's an M249, bunch of ammo, all level 3 gear. And I need to know if Jixie's going to get it. I think he is. Look. I
mean, who else is going to, right? This is what this guy does.
He's not going to win, but you know what? Honorable shout out to him for being the guy to go for it.
You have to believe in him. Okay?
A lot of people played really well today, but
I get to be realistic, and I can appreciate
the crate man.
But I'm not counting him out just yet.
This is scrap in the southeast, though. We got 17 and 25 going at it with each other. DigiNet, just take it down.
Digi gets dropped down. Luckily, he's got teammates to help out. Just kidding. Smar decides better and gets him removed. Unfortunately, Undirected does get a couple shots on one of those players in the compound. Doesn't manage to finish him off. Does get him relatively low.
That's a good grab, though.
Yeah, try to apply a little bit of pressure.
On.
Undirected just checking these windows, trying to spot anybody out. Needs to be careful, though, as they know where he is located.
Yeah, I wonder if these guys fall back to maybe the bridge area and try to hold on to that a little bit.
You wish. You just want them to camp it.
I just want, yeah, but that's not going to happen. You know, in my dream scenario, half the teams are camping the bridge and the other half are trying to drive.
Your dream scenario is everybody goes to the bridge right now and just dukes it out.
Yeah,
like jousting style. You know.
Yeah. I'm thinking like the fight scene from Anchorman type deal. That's what I'm looking for here.
Can you actually So if we ride a 3-seater bike, one, we're gonna die because that thing's gonna flip and kill us. But if we manage to like get a machete or something in the sidecar, do you think it's possible to get a kill?
It has to be, for sure. I don't see why not. You can definitely hit people with melee weapons from the sidecar, so it's just a matter of threading the needle. At that point, you're probably gonna hit them with the sidecar and kill them. Little through the chick. Undirected, taking some shots back up over at Smarmy, though. He gets a hit on him. These guys are kind of like in this awkward spot. They're trying to fight their way out of a little bit of a hole here, as that blue does finally start to close in. Most of the teams are within the safe zone. There's a team that has multiple cars. Team 12 at military base. Team 12 currently in third place. PUBG. Those guys, we're going to keep our eyes on them. And then there's just another team up in Georgia Pole, Team 23. Team 9 is at the bridge, but they're going to be making their way up from Lighthouse pretty soon, I imagine.
Undirected and Smart keep trading shots back and forth. This time he does pull out a VSS. Subsonic can't hear the shots too well, but they don't hit that hard either. Looks like Team 25 in DRW has plenty of vehicles to choose from. There's one there, and then Geo Ship should be able to get the other one. So I do like multiple vehicles for these guys able to be busted out. Thurman hops aboard. Looks like they're going to change. Probably going to want to go west and then go up the hill here. They're going to do exactly that, reading my mind.
Yeah, you got to get around these guys. I think pushing into them is just it's a fool's gambit at this point. At the very least, they get themselves high ground if they want to fight, and they can try to get the shots off on them. But you don't want to push uphill into players like that. Not too many of the other teams really that close to each other, though, so it should be a bit slow past this first fight. We're going to wait probably for the next circle or two to drag everybody in. Pachiki's still in play, though. We could have another one close in on that.
Just trying to see what these guys are doing. You got someone, Team 15, who's that? That's Velocity and Tropod and the boys from FB Move Fast, both at small and large Milta. Nothing too crazy, just plenty of spaced out. These guys just working their way in. Curious to see on how Epic PUBG and the guys on the Northwest and North and South George will alter themselves. Plenty of loot to choose from, just a matter of if they can make something of it. They've got a lot of options. Obviously, nobody in this lower half through Gatka or coming from Primorsk, so plenty of options to choose here. Probably want to go through ruins and then end up on that hill, probably just northwest, kind of by the church, over where Pochinki is. There was also that warehouse that we saw a lot of fights going in. But if they can kind of end up by that church, or at least that hillside, they're going to give themselves plenty of cover to work with. But you never know where the rest of these guys are going to rotate, especially with
these guys turned Pochinki into a graveyard in the last game too.
Oh, by the bridge, the crossroads.
Wide, that car going past and making their way towards the bridge. And it looks like some of them are going to be able to get away here.
Bites is going to make it down as Snipe Down goes up all the way around. Unfortunately, going right around them. They have the right play. They're in the good spot, but just can't manage it. Unfortunately, Spice is right as well, using that M16.
Army's trying to get him on the bridge, and he's not going to be able to. Dragging those long shots with the barrel. Tough to land.
Loose in the buggy. He's going to have to dodge a lot of these shots coming out, too. But now they have an option here. Bridge is the end of the safe zone. They could just camp this if they felt like it. Not sure if they're going to do it.
It's not the worst play. Well, okay. I'm just too biased on this. It is.
It's really not, right, though. I mean, you're talking that they either have to swim across to find a vehicle, which is what Zero Shift is looking for right now, which means there's a team that's already going to probably take their vehicle, or they grab all the way and go to where Team 9 is, which is FB Move Fast.
Well, he found a bigger boat. He found a bigger boat, so that option is in play. He's made it. Zero Shift has made his way there. But yeah, I guess looking at Team 17, these guys are all kind of. It's got to feel really awkward for them the way that they've been stuck, and now actually taking that blue damage as people start to close in. Really interested to see where the next circle goes. Are we going to cut out the cities? Which ones are we going to be moving from? Team 22, Snipe Down just hit Disintech with a car.
I'm rather upset. I did not see that happen. I was too focused on Jay Free and the rest of the guys on #1 squad, catching all these guys rotating in. They're applying some shots on Miramars, but Snipe Down and Bites, the team that was just running away from Team 17, is now headed up north. They're trying to find middle, but it looks like it's going to shift completely away. So instead of ending up in Pochinki, it's going to end up at Shelter Prison area. There's a lot of hill cover
that's my
up there.
favorite.
One of the most fantastic places to fight is this hill area here. So.
Oh yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite areas on the map. I'm a prison boy through and through when it comes to Erangel. And this low ground area can be a little bit weird. You got the buildings. Look at where Team 12 is hanging out with Bites and all them, as they are taking a couple shots. JXC is somewhere. He's in the field looking down on them. He's got the VSS on his own. Always a playmaker to keep your eyes on. As Steams comes in from the left side with Team 13. Team 7 could get eyes on them. Because, of course, Team 7, one of the big players that we've been looking at. They're currently in second place, Cap 1. They have been dominating as well behind Google Free Chicken.
Well, to keep you guys up on the standings, Team 6 here, Jay Free and the rest of the guys are sitting in first place, representing Electronic Frontier Foundation. Pretty hefty lead. As long as they manage to stay alive, they should be fine. Sitting in second place, Cap 1 and the rest of the guys for Team 7, just northwest of them, with Steam running possibly into them. They have a vehicle themselves. Second place with 33.56 for Girls Who Code. As for Team 12, the guys directly in the middle sitting in third place, that is PUBG at 27.82, representing Doctors Without Borders. So those are your top 3 teams. Those are the guys that we're looking for. The one that's kind of inching close is Naughty Dog, which is Team 11, who is on the top right, all 4 members. Those are the only ones that are kind of the big ones that you need to be careful of, because if Naughty Dog has a good first place finish and gets, you know, some solid plays and a bunch of kills, they could possibly sneak into that third place spot. So trying to pay attention to this team, and this team. But Team 7 running straight into Steams. And it doesn't matter, they see him.
Oh, he's up 2-0. Okay, gets knocked down. Chow Chow's able to pop him in the head, and he is crawling back towards his team. An awkward spot to be in. Some guy's going to push straight up. The Dirty G gets him down, but Think Daddy's there to also now spot the Builder. And 2 of our gray players are down, 1 of our green, and that is it for the Dirty G. J244 has barely got any health.
Bob is pushing on me.
Clean him up.
He can't jump out this window, but he does take the hard cover. He's peeking back and forth, trying to see if he can find him. Luckily, Jick does have cover here. He is prone. He does spot him out. Takes 1 shot, takes 2, takes 3, takes a bunch of them, and finally knocks him down. There's still 1 left. It's Northern Air, the last one yet again. Assuming he's just going to retreat. He knows his team is gone, but he needs to be the last surviving member to give themselves a chance for Con Radicals. He's just booking it. He doesn't want any part of this. And I don't blame him. Cap 1's been playing well, man.
Yeah, these guys have really been...
They do spot him. A couple shots landed on him. Bob's just pushing straight at him. He's got a grenade. See if he's going to throw it on that tree. I don't even know if he knows he's there. He's running straight at him. This could be a chance for Northern to turn the tides.
Maybe Northern Air gets to make a play.
Oh
yeah, he just runs straight into it. He's gonna eat pavement. He dies, but not without taking out Bob the Builder. And you know what? That's considering the point differential to overcome for Team 7. That's one of those things where it's like you need every possible kill and you also need Team 6 to die pretty quickly as well to pull that off.
It's pretty crucial. Bob has been one of their top fraggers throughout the entire tournament. So for him to go down here, like you said, they need a ton of kills to stay ahead and to catch up. But playing spoiler, good play for him. Undirected, and the rest of the guys for Team 25 had a little bit of fun there, getting looted up. Undirected possibly going to swap out his kit as shots coming from Team 9, removing Team 20 right on top of the hill.
They tried to drive straight past them. They picked off 2 of them from that bike. And it's a nasty way to go, unfortunately. I mean, you're trying to speed through. It's nice. You can cover that distance, but makes a lot of noise.
One to pay attention to as well. Jay Free and the guys from our #1 team, Google Free Chicken, having to fight off Team 12, another team that is kind of in the running. PUBG, third place. These guys are having to rotate wide. Luckily, they do have some hill cover. Seeing if they can get into the zone. This is the first time I've seen them not in the middle of the zone early as they're taking shots for Team 12. Be able to skate away, no issues there. 3 of them in 1 vehicle with John on the boot. So a lot of time pro teams, what they'll do is they'll actually take 1 person in the lead vehicle, usually the faster vehicle, a bike if you can. and then have the rest follow. They are going to settle at a place that most people refer to as the Alamo because it is in the middle of everything with no hard cover other than their one compound. Luckily for them, it is almost directly in the middle, so they're going to be okay there. As for Jinxie's, I'm not surprised if he starts moving and going for that other crate. As shots coming out from Cow and Team 7, back and forth they go.
Yep.
Dink Daddy, the only one left. He needs to find Normal down below him. He's going to be right next to him. Can he spot him out? They run right past. Oh, no, he spots him.
Goodness gracious.
Going to K98. No, he's going to swap, see if he can get him before. He's trying to heal right now and needs to take this shot if he can. As they play ring around the rosy, he doesn't notice him there. Tries to go for the car, almost gets ran over. Dink Daddy secures the kill and removes Team 14.
Yeah, meanwhile, good bit of action going down on the southwest side. Team 9 engaging 25. Some nades being thrown out. Watson Slayer and Riri in that 2 versus 3, but they've got 2 of them down, undirected and zero shift. Heaven knocked down. Thurman Merman is the man trying to make the play right now as these players run through the open field. He gets the shot on Wasaku. He's able to down him 1 versus 1 with Riri.
Doesn't spot him coming out of the smoke. Should know that he's removed it open and wide field, and Thurman with aggressive play. Now he's got to find a way to get his teammates back up.
I'm like, he goes straight for the crate to loot, and I'm like, dude, zero shift,
Thurman.
Man. Could he have made it to him? I don't know.
Thurman, what are you doing?
Thurman
Didn't even try.
Didn't even try. At least let him die in your arms, not out in the cold by himself.
Well, I mean, the worst part is the cold's coming. Here it comes.
Yeah.
Luckily,
big fight on the south central, though. We got Team 15, 22, 17, and even Hobo is out there getting in the thick of things. AJ Rising picked off by Dr. Freebird.
Using that
in that wizard tower.
Yeah.
He's just chilling. Yeah, he's got the ghillie suit on. He is feeling himself right now. Solid defensive position to be in as the rest of these teams are so close in the hills surrounding them. It looks like there's a fight going down by the mansion as well. We got Team 11 and Team 10. Of course, there's a lot more building cover to work with over in the north central area of this circle.
Looking at Team 8 as well. Tesla Shock Troops right in the middle of prison where it looks like it's going to end. Everybody else going to have to reconvene to them. Plenty of action still on the south side. You're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams on that southwest circle. And one of them is our second place team. Cap 1. Yep. Moving down. Dink Daddy leading the charge. Trying to play it slow. Don't want to make too much noise as they could come right up across Velocity up at the top here with Robot Wizard and Dr. Freebird. Team that just made a ton of shots and action happen. Just watching Dink Daddy jumping back and forth, seeing if he can spot anybody.
Yeah, we got Team 6. It looks like they're taking. Looks like someone was shooting out towards our Team 12. These guys were driving in 3 vehicles from the southwest. Also, you got Undirected coming in behind them. Team 7 looking at him, though. Chow Chow taking the shots towards Bites, but Thari looks like he flips the car, kills his teammate, and then kills himself.
Not the way I would want to go, but unfortunate. The other downfall of that, too, is Team 7, Cap 1, just put a ton of shots on. So now that then alerts all these other teams that are on their south side as well. So a lot of options coming out. Jinxie does find one. The snake in the grass. He ends up getting one with a VSS from far. He's just peppering shots, and you can see Team 11. They're scattering.
Jinxie's bringing out the meme tactics here.
Uh-oh, he's finding the number 1 team. He's got an
now
M249.
the whole squad. The number 1 team versus Jinxie. Here he goes. He's running up with the M249 right from behind. Oh my god, the spray of the century. He gets 2 of them. Almost gets a 3rd. And all of a sudden, Google Free Chicken is asking themselves, what the hell just happened? This is insane.
There's only
and
one left.
John to the
John.
left.
Can he remove John? Can he take out the number 1 team?
Jinxie. Oh my god, Jinxie did it. He did it.
Jinxie, you legend! You counted him out. You said he was going to die and not win, and he removes the number 1 team.
Oh my god. Oh god. My day was just made.
Jinxie, you're a hero.
All right, play of the tournament right there. Jinxie rides solo the whole time. Wipes the number 1
Well, he's got another
team.
team. Can he do it again? Can Jinxie do it again? That's what I want to know. With 23 bullets, it's unlikely.
We'll see if lightning strikes twice.
Jinxie, no.
Ow, ow,
No,
ouch.
Jinxie!
Wop, 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 wop.
Poor Jinxie.
You know what though? He went out. He went out in glory. There's another big scrap in the Southwest, by the way. 16, 22, 17, and 15, all in the thick of it. Hobo's inside of the building. All right, right on the outside of this one. Very low. Gets his heel off. Dope handles right there, though. And Dr. Freebird and I Like Pants both still holding that Wizard Tower very nicely. And actually, Robot Wizard and his buddy have the other tower just a little bit up the hill. Great defensive positions.
Good peeks from Hobo, alternating between him and I Like Pants. Can't say I agree, but he's going to met up. Blue zone here in 35 seconds, so still plenty of time to decide what he wants to do. Probably needs to rotate out. Unfortunately for him, Team 17 looking straight at him on top of that hill, and another one hiding right next to him. He does spot him, a snake in the grass. Decides to go for the hip fire and gets killed for it.
Yep. Hobo down. Dope handle is also eating the pain the other side of the map. But, you know, Team 15 doing a great job of playing with the buildings out here. And Cap 1 is just coming on the outside now. Some guy, Chow Chow and Dink Daddy running through the fields. I don't think Team 15 has spotted them yet. Oh, Dr. Freebird's looking out to Chow Chow. He takes a hit.
Ziv on the back end does get it through. Unfortunately for him, not too many meds. This is now phase 4. This is when it starts to hurt. You're looking at 3 damage a tick. The door open. You see Chow trying to peek it. I like the fact that they're pushing this, not allowing it. They need to be careful of Pants on the back side. He jumps into the window, denies it. It ends up being the pallet that saves them. They remove it. They get a grenade, and they take him out.
Wow. That with the grenade, just absolutely ruthless engagement onto that tower that these players were hiding in. And, you know, you think about it, you're splitting up, okay? You don't have your whole team to fight and defend in situations like that. They get to take the 2v2 when they want to.
Dink Daddy playing it smart, though. He is peeking that second Wizard Tower. This is our second place team as well. So they're able to move half the squad. They still have 3 on their end. As a Robot Wizard.
They have a chance to get the W here, especially since Google Free Chicken was eliminated by our solo player.
Jumping alongside though, team number 12 and team 17. Both shots coming out. Sniped down the rest of the guys that were able to escape. Now getting followed by Smar. They do have a lot of area on this hill. Spread out relatively wide. Smar's out in the open. Needs to be careful. But he does have the low side of this hill. Another team possibly able to push in on them. On the top side is Team 11 for Naughty Dog, a team that's sitting currently in 4th place, needs the kills desperately if they want to consider some prize pool winnings for their foundation. Smar's going to push up.
Tough situation for everybody involved, yeah, coming up now.
GGTY
not too much room
left,
to work with.
It doesn't matter, he gets spotted out. And an AUG from GGTY. Looks like he got a crate weapon. A lot of damage. Yeah, one thing that is still true, teammate Tesla Shock Troops has been sitting in that building and has not yet moved.
Nope, they've just been chilling. Great shots, long shots from Bites as he finishes off Robot Wizard. And that leaves Jay Boo from Team 15 all on his own. They had a good mid-game, but has kind of fallen apart towards these last few circles.
So I thought Bathari was dead when he ran over his teammate. But I think he just got knocked and picked back up.
Oh, okay.
So they're fighting right now with Team 10, Jolium, team we haven't talked too much about. They've had some moments. Kovacs was close to a couple of good shots earlier on, but ended up getting removed from a headshot from far. I think in our first game from XK, I think.
Been a bit of a rough go for these guys, but they've got one of the full squads remaining. As much of an advantage, I guess we can say that is. Quite a few of these other teams have hemorrhaged out a player or two. Bites gets another one. He has really been loving that long range. Doing very well with the sniper rifle here. The M24 with the 6X. Sitting on the south end, the top cliff of prison. Takes a shot to Dink Daddy. Chunks him. That number 2 team. Yeah, that number 2 team is just sitting up there trying. They need to make this push. They need to wipe the rest of the server. They need all the points they can get now that Google Free Chicken is out. Bites is kind of messing with that. He's making it really hard for them to push.
Yeah, they've got good cover right in the middle. Plenty of angles for them to use for cover as well. So looking at the circle, obviously Team 8, Tesla Shock Troops still in plenty of a zone. The rest of the teams on the north side have to move down. So the ideal scenario And what most teams will do, depending on where you're at, obviously 12 and 8 can stay, 7 can stay. 7 has a lot of advantage actually being on that top of that hillside. But if you're a team like 23 or 10, you want to start to move. Like 10's doing this great. They're moving around the back end of that hill. They're trying to catch somebody out and try to remove that angle. Make sure there's nobody else to their east or their north, because that's where they're coming from. So it looks like Mitch is going to do exactly that. He does spot one for Team 11.
He finishes off Team 15.
He's got a shot here. Only 10 shots with his SLR, though. They don't know he's there. Needs help. He's scouting out well for his team. They need to move in and give him some support.
Yeah, it's an awkward spot to be in because he's kind of covering a little bit of this forward ground, but he's super exposed. There's nobody to help him right now. Team 11 has to push up a little bit as well as that blue zone continues to close in. Gets a good shot, though, on OMG Ain, finishing him off. And it looks like, ooh, Amity gets the reaction, though. Able to counter here.
Yeah, Mitch does go 1 for 1. He's going to get a trade. Probably better for their scenario, too, because they do have the numbers still on the other side. All three of those guys moving in, so hopefully that tells Team 10, the guys from Jollyum, that, okay, you have someone to your southwest. Be careful. Or your southeast. My apologies. That's flipped. But that also gives a lot of information to the guys in the middle. Team 12 here. PUBG, the team sitting in 3rd place, trying to make sure they secure themselves some money for their foundation.
Yeah, interesting circle layout, by the way. This is one of those weird ones because that cliff can end up becoming really big as the circle tightens in on this position. Shots being traded between Team 7 and 23. You've got Cap 1 looking down. These three guys have been ripping and tearing through the competition in this tournament so far today.
Yep, Noda, unfortunately, he does not win that peak. Gets hit for 74, but Corrupt File fires back. Good shot from him. Removes Chow Chow. The name's redundancy does not mean anything bad, as he has been playing phenomenal. Unfortunately, Some Kai has been kind of their hero, as he's going to get a revive on his teammate here. All three players back in as the push starts to come out. The blue zone as well. 10 seconds away from locking to phase 6. Right now, damage can be roughly 5 damage per second. So if you get caught out, it is going to chunk extremely hard. The next phase is going to be 10 damage per second if you get caught out. So needing to be careful as shots coming out on the top side. Corrupt File is going to rotate in. It does work in their advantage. They do have the circle. But unfortunately, Noda caught down below on his own. The high ground helping out.
Yeah, good play there. Bites also sniping out digital security, so that team's spreading, fanning a little bit, not working in their favor. It's just the Corrupt File now holding it down for them as that circle's pushing out of the cliff. And, you know, this is what kind of I was talking about. Team 8 over here, they got to push up. They're exposed to that cliffside from 12 and 10. And it's just one of those really tough things because sometimes that cliff flip can end up giving you the advantage if everybody has to come down. But since they're forced to go up, they're going to run straight into our number 2 team.
Dink Daddy with the K98. See if you can find one. There's one right behind that tree. He spots him. He takes the shot. Doesn't land. You've got 2 players hiding on the same tree. Need to be careful. Your best play is Dink doing exactly that. Switch to your auto rifle. No grenades, unfortunately. He's just going to push right into it. This team now
making it easier for him is Bites as well, who downs Shingo. That nade hurts a lot on Dink Daddy. Throwing more grenades. Chow Chow gets hit by tripods.
Could go back and help out his team. There's a bunch of fights starting to break out. Calcal is going to drop here, unfortunately. Tropod just decides to run down. He's getting shot at by Bites. He does have teammates able to flank this. This could be a chance for Kovacs. They are the last team surviving on this west side. It's right below him. He just needs to jump up a little bit higher. Needs to be careful with how much sounds he makes, though, as there's 2 right below him. Literally right there. Look down, I beg you, as he's getting shot at.
Oh, my God. GGTY gets the check there. No, Kovacs sees him.
He gets removed, unfortunately, for Kovacs. Wow.
Good cover there by Bites, though, coming in to cover the side of GGTY. And Bites has really just been nailing so many shots today. It's been absolute domination. 6 kills out of him. And there, GGTY also finishing off Salty. So we've got ourselves 3 teams remaining. Dink Daddy and Some Kai are coming over to these guys. Tropod is just kind of hiding in the corner of the chasm. He's in an unreachable, unescapable place. Almost, I think it's almost inescapable, yeah.
Yeah. The nice thing, though, GGTY is playing this really smart. Both his teammates are covering angles, so GGTY wants to get the top side of this hill so he can look down on his teammates. I probably would have sent Bites, as he's been going absolutely crazy with that M4. Unfortunately, he's going to get caught out. Seeing if his teammate can help. Some shots coming across. He does get the help. Unfortunately, they go for the trade. Needs to remove Dink Daddy. This is the number 3 and the number 2 team fighting it out.
Dink Daddy versus GGTY. He gets the first shots off. Dink Daddy peeks to the side, but no, GGTY is going to smack him down. He's got a little bit of time to go grab bites, and then they have to play the game of hide and go seek with Tropod, who is just now realizing, oh, I can't really climb this, can I?
So Tropod, it's only a matter of time for this man.
The clock is ticking.
He has 2 smokes, no frags, so even if he wanted to lob one up, he can't. Meds-wise, he could actually possibly make this work.
That's a tough run.
I mean, you're talking he's in phase 7, so you're talking, what, 12, 13 damage a second? Tropod, I'm not saying you're in trouble. That's one way to call for help.
He's fine. He's saying, where's the chopper? Get me out of here. He steps into that blue. He's like, you know what? Nope. Oh.
And he's gone. Valiant effort here from Tropod. Unfortunately, teammate not going to be able to do it. Tesla Shock Troops get into that prison early and finish in second place. But the victory goes to PUBG, the team that was sitting in third. 13 kills for them. That is an absolute monster performance. But the one I want to talk about, team number 3, Dink Daddy and the rest of the guys from Cap 1. 14 kills? 12? Yeah, 14 kills.
Those guys crushed it. Oh, my God.
You know, you thought, okay, it looks like Jinxie's the legend is going to remove the number 1 team. There's a chance for someone to move up. And then both the second and third place team frag out within 1 kill, 2 kills of each other. That's unbelievable plays for them. So we're going to tally up the points. We're going to see who took the victory. And when we come back, we will kind of break it all down for you guys, say our congratulations and everything else. This is the After Hours Gaming League. I'm Lawler. Alongside me is Nathanius. We'll be back in just a bit to kind of tell you the end results and who took home the prizes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the After Hours Gaming League. Unfortunately, I don't have a graphic for you, but I can tell you the results. I would do a cringy drum roll, but we don't need that. We're just going to tell you what it is and how it came to be. Number 1 team, I think we all kind of know it, even though they got it removed by Jinx.
They're too good.
Shoutouts to Google Free Chicken. The team coming out. The total score, 42.84, and the $1,000. That is going to go over to Electronic Frontier Foundation. So congrats to Google Free Chicken. You guys are our clear winner. You guys killed it. But the big question that everybody's asking, did PUBG do enough? Nate, you want to tell them?
PUBG pulled through. We got PUBG finishing 3rd place, 3,842 points. Not too shabby. Getting that top 3 finish. I just want to say I'm very proud of our 2nd place team. So close. So very, very close at the end of that last one.
Yep.
Cap
coming
1.
in. Yep. 4,116
They were so
points.
So if they got enough kills that if they had managed to win that game, I believe it would have put them over, right?
Yeah, it would have been.
Maybe?
It was
Yeah.
super close between the 2 teams. If PUBG would have won, it would have been a total difference. And the thing that I'm looking at as well is, I mean, you're looking at total points for just today, the total accumulated from all today. Google Free Chicken had 1,058, PUBG had 1,005, and Cap 1 had 975. So PUBG made up a lot of ground. It just wasn't enough. Just shy by, like, I think it was like 250 points. So super close. If they could have had it, it might have been a difference maker here. But
that would have been the upset of the century then, seeing that comeback, because the whole story today was Google Free Chicken and Cap 1. But PUBG pulling it through, and you know, I'm gonna go all the way down to the top 5. Shout out to Naughty Dog finishing in 4th place, and Workday in 5th place. Great job by everybody that participated, and it was good games. I always enjoy seeing these types of competitions, because even though you're not seeing like the top pros, you do get to see some of the funnier stuff that happens, like our boy Jixie getting the wipe on Google Free Chicken, and that miracle play. In my mind, is the one thing that made it possible for Cap 1 or PUBG to steal the show, because otherwise Google Free Chicken should have easily finished top 5, right, based on the performance previously. So, you know, one last shout out to Jixie, he's my boy.
Jixie's a hero. That's my man. That guy gets the honorary MVP for the weekend for the highlight match. So exciting stuff from him. Big shout outs again. 1st place Google Free Chicken for Electronic Frontier Foundation. 2nd place Cap 1 for Women Who Code, and 3rd place PUBG for Doctors Without Borders. Congratulations to them. $1,800 going to them. But yeah, AHGL closing it off for here for PUBG for myself and Nathanius. We really appreciate you guys coming and tuning in. Big shout outs as well for After Hours Gaming League. Over $23,000 in charity being raised over the course of the last like 6 to 8 months. So unbelievable things they're doing with these guys and giving people an opportunity to compete on the big stage. So good stuff. Any last words though, Nathanius, before we head on out?
I'm just gonna echo you, Lawler. Big thanks to After Hours Gaming League for having us on, for putting all of this on, making this happen, and big thanks to all the companies competing. You know, it's fun, getting a little different. It's different thinking about the old days, right? Of just playing basketball against each other, getting some video games in, some video game competition. I think is awesome, and it's so cool to see all these guys come out and play. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you guys tuning in had a lot of fun. Have an absolutely great weekend. This was a blast.
Yep, great way to spend the afternoon. Greatly appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us. But that does it for me and Nathanius. We are out of here. Up next, there is some CSGO. I think it's already ongoing if you guys want to go check that out. I'm going to play some music, roll the credits. But that does it for us. Appreciate you guys being here. This is After Hours Gaming League, the Fall 2018 Grand Finals for PUBG. Peace.